Is that the only way to retrieve myth, is to sort of have a sacrificial other, or are there other strategies to retrieve myth?
Well, if you look at the history of myth, going back to the mother lode, like going back to the Greek myths, myth begins with blood. It begins with the eating of the gods and their children. It begins with a kind of a free-form violence, which then coalesces into something formal, and then there's pantheon. There's a classical age, which comes out of chaos. But you really begin with a state of chaos and a state of cannibalism, auto-cannibalism, and then meaning that's constructed after there is a very distinct self-other dichotomy set up. After the whole melee kind of ceases, then there's this narrative of how the world is ordered, and how the benevolent gods step in, and there's that kind of... But yeah, I think blood is absolutely central to any reading of myth, and it's why I kind of resent the work of Joseph Campbell, who sort of downplays the fact that to abrogate the will and to go into this thing called myth as a way of understanding experience. And of course, I think Campbell's language is really obscurantist, and he has all this talk about follow one's bliss, follow your bliss. But he really overlooks the fact that if you have a society that goes all the way in terms of turning history into myth, and I think Nazi Germany is the example of that par excellence of the century, where you have all of these like primordial totemic systems brought back again, and a historical sense of Germany is lost in favor of looking at Germany through Wagnerian narratives, through Parsifal, through the runes, and you have military people with these SS runes on their caps, and also very death-oriented totems in their practice. That's really just a key example of what it means to call up myth fully. Because that culture, in order to keep myth in place, had to have a clearly designated other, which had to be wiped out entirely. And what's interesting to me is, and here I'm really referring to a book by Arno Meyer that's called Why Did the Heavens Not Darken, which is like the newest reading of the Holocaust. And I think the points are well taken in the sense that it was precisely when the will to myth began to fully collapse with Operation Barbarossa's failure that the extermination of the Jews had to proceed full force. There was nothing left except to try to keep the population's will to myth in check by blaming it all on this other. And it's precisely at that point, and I think Meyer's argument is really well taken, that the exterminations had to take place. So I think once you go into myth, once myth becomes the key foundational narrative of your civilization, blood is always a factor.